Modupe woke up before her alarm. For a few seconds, she lay still, disoriented, trying to place herself. Then the unfamiliar ceiling, the faint sound of movement in the corridor, and the presence of another bed in the room reminded her where she was. Campus. Her chest tightened slightly. She sat up and reached for her phone, checking the time. It was barely 6. At home, she would have stayed in bed longer, knowing her mother would wake her when it was time. Here, there was no such structure, no voice telling her what came next. She got up carefully, making her bed the way she had been taught, tight corners, smooth sheets. Tumishe stirred but didn't wake, her blanket half off, her hair wrapped loosely. Modupe hesitated for a moment before stepping into the bathroom with her toiletries. Even something as small as choosing when to bathe felt like a decision she was suddenly responsible for. Outside, the campus was already awake. Students moved with purpose, some in groups, others alone, their conversations flowing freely. Modupe walked slowly, taking everything in. The lecture halls, the notice boards filled with information, the unfamiliar abbreviations and codes. She felt small. At orientation, she sat quietly, notebook open, writing down everything. She didn't miss a word. The information was overwhelming, but she welcomed it. Instructions were comforting. During a break, Tumishe plopped down beside her, excitement written all over her face. "This place is big, oh," she said. "But I like it." Modupe smiled faintly. "Yes, you'll get used to it," Tumishe added. "Just follow the flow." Modupe wasn't sure she knew how. Later, as they walked across campus to locate their department, Modupe noticed how freely people interacted. Boys and girls walked together, laughing, leaning close. No one seemed guarded. No one seemed afraid. She looked away quickly, reminding herself of her mother's voice. No distractions. In the afternoon, they attended their first departmental meeting. Seniors spoke with confidence, throwing around words Modupe didn't yet understand. She wrote everything down anyway. When it was over, she felt exhausted in a way that had nothing to do with physical effort. That evening, Tumishe suggested attending fellowship. "You should come," she said. "It helps you settle." Modupe hesitated. Fellowship was familiar ground. Church had always been safe. She nodded. The fellowship hall was already filling up when they arrived. Modupe took a seat near the back, scanning the room. People greeted one another warmly. Laughter echoed easily. She felt both comforted and out of place. As worship began, she closed her eyes, letting the familiar songs ground her. For the first time that day, her shoulders relaxed. This, at least she knew. She didn't notice him yet, not properly. She only noticed that there were people who carried themselves with quiet authority, students who seemed older, steadier. She didn't know their names, but she sensed they mattered. When the service ended, Modupe stood to leave, heart calmer than it had been all day. She didn't know that this fellowship would become a central part of her university life, or that among the faces she barely noticed that evening was someone who would later challenge everything she thought she understood about love, patience, and faith. For now, all she knew was this. Campus was not just a place, it was a test, and she had only just begun.